to it there, but what are some things maybe that the Cats can do here to slow down this rush attack by the
Vikings? One thing is for certain. There were 2 trips down the field that we got down in the red zone and come away with no points. That absolutely cannot happen. If you pick up 2 scores there, you score 2 more touchdowns. Yeah, it's 28-21. You've got the lead. Of course, if you don't throw that interception, you don't know that Tennessee High comes back. That was a 14-point swing. That was a big momentum turner in the game. But, credit the Bearcats. They took that punch. They come back, recuperated, picked up a big interception of their own. Had, a 45-yard or a 40-yard return on that interception by Austin Davidson to set the Bearcats up to punch one more in at the end of the half to cut this score down to 21-14 Tennessee High. Coming up on the end of halftime festivities and getting ready for a big second half.
So 21-14, and really, like you said, the momentum was all there until a minute 44 when Cole McBriar threw a pass high, and Austin Davidson returned it on the interception all the way down to inside the 25, and 4 plays later, the Bearcats are in the end zone. And we were talking in the halftime break there when we were playing the John Battle highlight about how this game could be 28-7 right now, the way they were moving the football. But 1 turnover really in that first half, that's really what's going to keep the Bearcats in it, at least here to open up the third quarter.
Well, just as easily, what if Lathrop, what if we don't throw the interception down here, there early in the second quarter? It could just as easily be 28-21 or Virginia High, or maybe even 28-14. And we do have lightning off beyond the scoreboard end of the field. I don't know if that's going to be of any concern yet. Can't really tell how far off it is, but we do see the officials talking to the coaches now.
Yeah, they're with each coach.
I don't think it's a concern at this point, but I guess they are going to keep an eye on it.
We do know just to the east, back in our home area, Patrick Henry was in a lightning delay.
Of course, now they're talking to our athletic director, Brad Harper, over there on the far sideline. So
we've got second half action coming up here in just a moment. We're going to have kickoff will be for Virginia High, or to Tennessee Highs. Step out here to boot it off from the 40-yard line to open up the second half. So see if the Cats have it in them for an upset.
What a strange feel this is, too. We got the 30-minute later kickoff here in on the Tennessee side of the line. We're usually getting started into the fourth quarter, if not well into the fourth quarter at this point. Now tonight we're just coming up on 9 o'clock here on the East Coast, and we're coming out of halftime. Just getting ready to kick off the third quarter.
Yeah, Colton Ratcliffe will boot it away for the Bearcats. Again, the kickoff brought to you by State Line Motors. View their inventory at StatelineMotorsVA.com. See what the Vikings come out with. Again, the Cats have cut it to 7 as we open the second half of play. Kick is in the air, returnable from the 20-yard line. This is Noah Osborne, and he's brought down a good tackle by Michael. Make that Bryson Williams, number 44, making the tackle for the Cats. At the 34-yard line, it'll be Viking football. Make that the 33.
Kick hung up there for a while, so Noah Osborne able to get a good run and go and filled it on the fly for the Vikings. Decent return, going to get up the 33-yard line. That's where Tennessee High will begin the second half. 1st and 10 as we are underway with 11:55 remaining in the third quarter.
So Viking football from their own 33-yard line. 1st down and 10. They'll go tight, run it off to the left side, trying to run off tackle, and the Cats able to make a good tackle out wide. I believe Jalen Dingus the first one there, and it was Jalen, the linebacker. After a gain of about 5, it'll bring up 2nd down and 5 up past the 35 to the 40 or to the 38-yard line.
Ryan Gibson, the ball carrier there for the Vikings, picking up good yardage on 1st down. Kelvin Coleman, his mate in the backfield, giving him a lead block there to pick up an extra yard or two. It's going to bring 2nd down and 6 for Tennessee High from their own 39-yard line.
We've seen holes being opened up by that big offensive line of the Vikings so far tonight. 2nd down and 5. They go off to the right, just off right guard, and a good wrap up there. Aaron Rose, or make that Cooper Gobble, holding on to the right leg of the running back, Isaiah Smith. And he gets him just at the stick, so it's a first down by a few yards. And they're up to the 44-yard line are the Vikings. 2 plays and a first down. We're at the 11-minute mark here in the third quarter. If you're just tuning in, 21-14, Vikings leading. They led 21-7, but the Cats with a late interception to end that second half. And then they punched it in to cut it back to 7, but Viking football as they wisely deferred here to the second half. A busted play here, and we'll try to pin him down. Dingus trying to get the tackle, and he ends up squirting free, goes out of bounds right at the original line of scrimmage. So busted play, but he saved it and got it back to the original. It'll bring up second down at 10.
Yeah, Dingus had him wrapped up by a leg. He was able to squeeze away. Sean Watkins come in, cleaned it up, forced him out of bounds. Still gets back to the line of scrimmage to be a second down for the Vikings. 10:40 remaining in the third quarter.
McBriar over 200 yards rushing in the first half. One of the big reasons why they had over 200 yards rushing. Just with his feet making plays at quarterback. They'll fake the first handoff and then a gap as they get him by the jersey, and he drags a couple of defenders with him, but they stand him up on the Virginia high side of the Tennessee high side of the 50. Nice play there. They were literally had him on by the jersey, and he had it stretched out pretty well, almost tore it. And it will bring up a third down and about 5. Big third down coming up here for the Vikings.
Yeah, Gene Malumba reached out and just grabbed onto the jersey and held on long enough for the reinforcements to get there and wrap up the tackle. Malumba gets up just a little bit wobbly, but looks like he's good to go. Yeah, big third down here coming up early in the second half.
Third down and about 5 from their own 49-yard line for the Vikings. They're going to do a straight keeper. Cooper Gobble blows it up, a loss of about 6. And it is fourth down coming up, making a loss of 5. It sits them back to a fourth down and about 9. Let's see what the Vikings decide to do. Up 7 here in the early stages of this third period. And, Jamie Lathrop over there hopping up and down in the corner. And it is unique because, you only have one substitution coming out, so there's no pile of players coming in with Jamie. It's just him.
Yeah, Cole McBriar, though, is going to come in to punt.
Yeah, McBriar has been the short punter. Clegg was on the field, but he ran off late, so McBriar will boot it away. Ratcliffe nearly got to it. The ball is short, and it takes a Tennessee high bounce down inside the 15. It rolls out at the 16-yard line. So the Bearcats will get the ball after a stop. Vikings get one first down, and then the clamps get put on by that Bearcat defense, and Jamie Lathrop will get the ball with a chance to tie it here with 9:15 to go in the first, or make that the third period.
Yeah, Virginia High coming out. Good defensive stop here. Start off this second half.
I'll say this right now, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit. It gives sort of the signs, that and the lightning we've seen early, in that halftime. There was quite a bit of lightning, but I haven't seen any of late. And it's Bearcat football from their own 16, trailing 21-14 here in the third quarter. Lathrop will try to get this offense dialed back in. Like we said, 3 good drives in the first half of the 4 we had. Lathrop will fake the handoff, go over the middle, and incomplete. Tried to go to the short side to Bradley, but it was a double team on a slant, really forced. Missed a bit high and almost hit Hunter Wright, who was wide open on a post route. This was one of those circumstantial deals.
Yeah, I believe Wright was, pretty sure the ball wasn't coming to him, and then all of a sudden there it was. By time he realized that it was a little bit too late, he might have could have laid out and grabbed it. But, yeah, the wind is picking up. Taking a look at the radar, nothing seems to be coming our way. Again, most of the storm off to our east. Looks like they're still getting hammered there at Emory, where Patrick Henry and Eastside are in a storm delay. Second down and 10. Bearcats have the ball on their own 16-yard line.
4 wide for the Cats. Rose in the backfield. They'll hand off Rose left side, and he gets bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a third down and 10, but that was a huge stop for the Bearcats. But Rose slow to get up, laying flat out at the 16-yard line. Time called on the field as he still hasn't attempted to get up. He's holding his shoulder area, but kind of rolling around at his hips. See what's going on with the senior running back for the Bearcats as Randy Hodge, the trainer, will come out and check on Aaron. It will be a third down and 10. The Bearcats from their own 16. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more as the Cats trail 21-14, 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org. This message has been brought to you by the Humane Society of the United States, Maddie's Fund, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Bearcat Radio. Aaron Rose being checked on by athletic trainer Randy Hodge. Coach Chris coming over, too, to check on Aaron. He's down at around the 16-yard line. It was no gain on the play, and they're working on his lower part of his leg there as Hodge is kind of massaging it, maybe like a cramp, but it's lasting a little bit longer than a cramp, so it makes you wonder as he's working on that right leg. So Travis will just go over to sponsorship read here as they check on Aaron.
Yeah, fans, you've cut back on everything from lattes to lunches, but if you're still coming up short at the end of the month, try this. Give State Farm agent Barbara Williams in Bristol a call for a free discount double check. She'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Because being there to help keep more of your money in your own pocket is why State Farm agent Barbara Williams is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
So 21-14 the score between the Vikings and the Bearcats. 7-point advantage for Tennessee High. Rose is up, putting a little bit of weight on that right leg, so that's promising because he's walking off unaided as he's walking off on his own power, but very slowly.
Give you a score update. George Wythe, the Maroons have scored again. They lead in that game 20-0.
A bit of a surprise there, I think, with a 2A team. Maybe we're learning a little bit about Marion in the process as Rose walking gingerly off the field. Hopefully he'll be all right because that's a game-changing injury in this ball game with the way that Rose has ran the football in the first half.
Pulaski added a couple more scores since our last update. Still in the third quarter there. Pulaski 35, Abingdon Falcons 14. Still rolling and still holding at 47-0. 5 minutes remaining in the game there with Ridgeview in the lead over Wise County Central.
So 9 minutes on the clock. So Aaron Rose off the field after being down on the turf there. Walked off on his own power. Third down coming as Lathrop drops back. He throws one over the middle, intercepted by the Vikings, and they'll return it inside the 20, and he's brought down there at about the 11-yard line. That's a tough break. You lose Rose for that third down play, and then an interception right off of it. Threw it right to Ryan Gibson.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who Lathrop's intended receiver was on that play. I couldn't see across the middle, but it hit Ryan Gibson right in the numbers. Picks up the big return, goes ahead and gets it back inside the red zone. Tennessee High in business. 1st and 10 from the Bearcat 12-yard line, 8:45 remaining in the third quarter. Vikings have a lead 21-14.
That's the second interception of the game. Let's see if this defense can bow up here as it's time called. I don't think the Bearcats had enough on the field or just didn't have the right play called.
That's going to be their first time out of the second half.
Yeah, only had 10 on the field, so called the timeout there to.
You and I have done several high school games, different locations over the years, and we see this a lot when there's a quick turnover, a quick turnaround on the field. Sometimes the team that throws the interception or has the fumble, the team that commits the turnover, they usually have some trouble getting the right personnel lined up and back out there.
And in a game like this, it's at the worst, it's only going to be a 2-possession game, and you've done burn a timeout because of it. So not only losing the football, but burning the timeout when you're going to be down by 14 in the second half, most likely. Of course, who knows? Defense could get another stop. They've been a second-half defensive team all year, so let's see. Coach Christ out talking with his defense at timeout. First of the half for the Cats. There's 8:45 on the clock after the Lathrop interception here in the third quarter. After a defensive stop by the Cats that forced a punt by the Vikings to open this third quarter. The Bearcats got it back, but no yardage for them, and it nets as a Tennessee High football. And they'll run it outside in one play, and they're into the end zone. Touchdown Vikings as Isaiah Smith took the counter on the read option and took it in, and it's 27-14 with 8:39 to go. So a quick turnaround, 6 seconds after the interception. Just like that, they're into the end zone, and the Vikings take a 27-14 lead.
Gabe Wilson and Hunter Wright both got back there for Virginia High. Neither one of them able to wrap up and make the